What did you think about the explanation that waved off the Landy goal?
It was complete nonsense. That's what it was, and I think they got it wrong. I don't I'm just gonna be honest. Like, it's okay. The guys in the zone coming off the bench are offside. Okay, but the rule, okay, is, as far as I can tell and as far as I know, the pass is made outside of the zone to Gunther, who's kind of bobbling the pass, right? And Val is basically in perfect position. So he sees Val coming at him, and he kind of panics and loses control of the puck. Like, he has it, and he goes to stick handle it, and he loses control of the puck back into the zone. Okay? So those guys that are at the bench, like trying to get off the bench, they could be below the goal line, and that play is still onside if you bring it back in yourself. If you're forced into the zone with body contact, a stick check, or a stick on puck, then it's an offside play. But if you, like what happened with Val, is Val's in perfect position. Gunther sees him, like, as he's bobbling it, looking down, trying to gather it, and then he goes to stick handle it and loses it in the zone. Val never touches him with body contact, never touches him with stick check, never touches the puck. He doesn't touch the puck till it's already in the zone, which is on Gunther. And then they penalized us for basically Val having, perfect position on the ice and him making a turnover. To me, it's a good goal. I still think it's a good goal. I've looked at every video review. I've looked at it zoomed in. I've looked at it zoomed out. He doesn't ever make contact with any part of Gunther or the puck until it's in the zone, which is a good goal. And I think they got it wrong. Like, we sent Landy over to talk to the officials to make sure they were looking at that as well, and not just the guys going onto the bench. And then they came back, and I basically got two different explanations from two different linesmen. And then I caught the one linesman later. I said, "Hey, you guys got it wrong. This is the rule." Mm-hmm. And they're like, "No, his actions forced him back in." I go, "What actions? Like, perfect positioning on the ice? You're rewarding the other team, because Val was basically perfect on the play? Like, it makes no sense. It's not the rule, The rule is the action has to be contact, stick check, deflection, whatever it is. It's not any of those, so it's a good goal. And I'll talk to the league today, and so will Chris. And I don't know what they'll say, but I mean, it would have been the biggest lead of the game at 2 goals, and it'd be a huge game changer. So we kind of get the short end of the stick on that one.
Why doesn't Toronto come in and offer an opinion then? Why? I don't understand. What did Toronto do in that situation?
They may have. Okay, but then the other rule is if they think Val touched it, if they think that, the rule is supposed to be you have to have conclusive evidence. It's a goal on the ice, right? Like, they let the play go, it's a goal on the ice. It has to be overwhelming evidence to overturn it. It's why with a goalie challenge, with an offside, it's got to be overwhelming. And you can't tell me that there's overwhelming evidence. I've looked at it. There's no way. I've looked at every review. I think they got it wrong. So that's just my opinion. And I'm, like I said on my post-game press, I'm pretty sure I'm right. I mean, I can't. You got 10 guys sitting in an office looking at every angle, slow motion, over and over and over and over, and every angle they possibly give you, zoomed in, zoomed out. Val never touches any part of Gunther or the puck, so the play's good.
I'm also infuriated, Coach, because there's a log jam at the door. Okay, it's not. Look, the door's inside the blue line. We've been through this a million times.
Yeah.
And Brett's totally correct. The way the league should look at this, as far as I'm concerned, if it's not too many men on the ice, and by the way, the Avs don't have the puck, and these guys are making a change, as far as I'm concerned, Lecky and Nate should be considered non-humans at that point. They shouldn't exist. You know what I mean? They're going through the damn door. There's a logjam at the door. So forget about the offside crap.
Moj. But Moj, keep in mind, they could have been standing below the goal line. It's still an onside play.
Yeah, I agreed.
Forget about the door. Like that has nothing to do with it. Like that is like if Val did stick check him and it went into the zone, it's like there's a couple buildings with it's just the way it is. Buildings are built different times, different setups. A couple buildings with San Jose, a few years ago reminds me of the Landy goal. But on this play, if we don't make contact with Gunther, like those guys could have been standing in the crease.
Sure.
It's onside.
Absolutely. But is Val not allowed to forecheck there? Is he not allowed to?
What do you just think about it. What are you supposed to do? Move out of the way? Just go, okay, just like, oh, sorry, I'm in your way. Like if you're not, just like sidestep him and let him, like, what are we doing here? If he doesn't make contact, he put him into, like, what happened is Gunther got surprised.
Yeah, he got nervous.
Instead of deflecting it out of the zone or whatever, he goes to like hook it back, and then Val is right there, and Val just is like freezing on top of him, and he loses it into the zone. It's like Val's actions caused him to go offside. Oh my God! Well, like, think about it. He could have passed it out of the zone. Val could have forechecked him. He could have skated it back. But if the actions are just like being in a spot, in a position, and that's it, it's bogus. Because you could force a guy back into the zone on his own with a little forecheck. He loses it. There's a goal scored. What's the difference between that and the play last night? Nothing. It just happened quicker. And I think they got it wrong.
Head coach of the Avs, Jared Bednar, with us, as he is every single week. It's brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, proudly rooting for Colorado's hockey team. So, Coach, something else that's on the minds of people, Scott Wedgwood has been fantastic to start this year. Still haven't had a regulation loss yet, but with Mackenzie Blackwood getting healthier, what do you think their rotation looks like?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll play it, couple games at a time. But like, I think it doesn't change anything for me. Like, you always want to kind of ride your hot goalie and let him play. And we got to get two guys up and run first. Blackwood's getting close. So then we take a look at Blackwood, and I'm sure Wedge will continue to play, and then Blackwood will play, and we'll just, you can't. Yeah, I think you got such a long season. You got to be. There's got to be like a short-term plan, and depending on how everyone's playing, I think you got to be like flexible with it.
Coach, more specifically last night, outside of the goal that was disallowed, getting the puck out of your own zone, you had some issues with that, and it led to some Mammoth goals. What could you have done differently in those situations?
No, we had a couple that were like just like really poor decisions. We turned so great first period for us. We turned the puck over about 4 times in the first 2 minutes. They got a couple scoring chances on it. Some of it just hockey, like the first huge save that Wedgwood made. We're doing everything right. Kill comes in to grab the puck into the middle ice. It bounces and he overskates it, and the guy brings it in, and Wedge makes a 10-bell save. It was right away in the game, 30 seconds in or a minute in. Some of those things are going to happen, but we had a couple bad decisions and bad execution that was just, uncharacteristic, and some of it was from, new guys like Soloviev on the one goal where, we go D over on a breakout. We can just go up with it. We turn it back and throw it on the boards and throw it in the soup. And it didn't look like Sam Malinsky was ready for it. Next thing you know, it's in the back of our net. We gave up a handful of chances like that. But really good first period, liked what we were doing, liked the execution of the game plan. And then second period, if you watch that game back, we would not dump the puck in and go forecheck, and our forecheck's been really good this year. It was really good last year, and we tried to skate through them. They're giving up the least amount of rush scoring chances in the entire league right now. They're number 1 in the league. Our guys know that, and we got stubborn and kept trying to go through them. We turned the puck over, and they kept playing in our zone. That's why the second period went the way it went. Then we started dumping it back in again in the third and using our forecheck and grinding in the offensive zone, and we looked better again. So And so like it's when we get into that mode and everyone kind of knows it and everyone's saying it on the bench, and then we keep doing it. It's a little frustrating on the bench for me. It's a little frustrating on the bench for our guys, and we're just going to need a better buy-in. We're going to need to get out of that sort of rut after 2, 3, 4 minutes, not 20, and that cost us a point last night, in my opinion.
Listen to me. I mean, you're a coach. You want to be, you want your team to clean up the details and so on and so forth. But listen to these two. Complaining about a 5-0-2 hockey club. Listen to these.
What do you
two.
mean complaining?
Like, this is wrong, that's wrong, turnovers and all this kind of thing.
It's fair. It's
listen. I mean, but just listen to it.
Like big picture, we're really happy with where we're at, and we're happy with the way we played. We did not like our home opener against Utah, and we didn't like parts of last night's game, mostly just the second period, to be honest with you. Like you're gonna make some mistakes throughout the course of the game. We made a couple right at the beginning, and then got really good in the first period. But we gave up too much. It's the 2 games where we gave up too much defensively, and none of that in either of those 2 games was effort and like defending details. It was all just puck management, playing with the puck and not doing the right things and not executing at a high level. So it was turnovers to scoring chance against, turnovers, scoring chance against. And so that, that's something we addressed after game 2. We got really good at it. We'll address it again tomorrow morning, just so like everyone's clear on how we're giving up our scoring chances and how we can cure that. It's positioning, it's puck support, it's talk, and then you gotta change the guy's mind, and you gotta make the right decisions. And it's a big part of the game. Like, it's not a little part of the game, especially when we play with the puck as much as we do. So we have to improve it going into tomorrow. But I will say this: out of the 7 games we played, like, Utah's a good hockey club.
Yeah, they are. I told these guys yesterday. Yep.
They are a fast team. They're a big, strong team. They're a well-rounded team. They're a deep team. I know they've been out of the playoffs for years, but every year I'm like, man, this team is a good team, and I think that everyone's starting to see that now. It's coming together for them now with the maturity of their young team. Like, they're not necessarily really young anymore, but they've been growing together, and I think it's all coming together for them this year.
Last thing for you, Coach, and always appreciate the time. We talked to you last week about this. The power play's at 11.5% right now. Last week you said as long as we got dangerous chances, it's better to have that than the opposite when you're not putting goals up. What's the assessment now after another week?
Yeah, kind of still hard to say. Here's the problem. Last 3 games, we've got 4 power play opportunities. 1, 2, 1. So you're kind of working on it. Like last night, the only power play we got, it was like a blatant high stick that cuts, that gets up under a guy's visor. It was pretty obvious. So it's kind of hard, like when you're on 1 power play over the course of 60 minutes. You want it to be good, you want it to be a difference maker. It wasn't. Like, it's still not there, but it's very limited opportunities here over the last few games. So 5-on-5, we got to do a better job putting them in some tough situations and drawing some penalties. Like, we're a team that usually draws the most penalties in the league, and over the past week we just have not been doing that.
All right, last thing. Tomorrow night is going to be awesome. The jerseys came out yesterday, really cool. The Canes are going to wear the whale. For an old hockey guy like you, how cool will it be to see those 2 iconic jerseys going head-to-head on the ice?
It's going to be cool. Yeah, I love, like, both those jerseys are awesome. And I love ours. Like, when we wore the burgundy ones a few years ago, like, I just thought that was the coolest setup that we had, And so whenever you get to kind of wear something different and the throwback like that, it's a unique experience. It's fun to watch, and you get two, really good teams right now. They are a handful as well. Carolina, and they're coming off their first loss this season, so this should be a heck of a hockey game.
That's tomorrow. You can hear it on AM 950. Coach, always appreciate your time every single week. We'll talk next week. Thank you.
I love a feisty
appreciate
Jared
it, man.
Bednar, by the way. Great radio segment. If this were a hockey game, it's 5-0 blowout. Good job.
All right, thanks.
Jared Bednar.